Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are in the Song of Prayer, Part 2, Forgiveness, and this is Section 2 of Part 2, Forgiveness to Destroy. Forgiveness to destroy has many forms, being a weapon of the world of form. Not all of them are obvious, and some are carefully concealed beneath what seems like charity. Yet all the forms that it may seem to take have but this single goal. Their purpose is to separate and make what God created equal, different. The difference is clear in several forms where the designed comparison cannot be missed, nor is it really meant to be. In this group, first there are the forms in which a better person deigns to stoop to save a baser one from what he truly is. Forgiveness here rests on an attitude of gracious lordliness, so far from love that arrogance could never be dislodged. Who can forgive and yet despise? And who can tell another he is steeped in sin and yet perceive him as the Son of God? Who makes a slave to teach what freedom is? There is no union here, but only grief. This is not really mercy. This is death. Another form, still very like the first of it, is understood. Still very like the first, if it is understood, does not appear in quite such blatant arrogance. The one who would forgive the other does not claim to be the better. Now he says instead that here is one whose sinfulness he shares, since both have been unworthy and deserve the retribution of the wrath of God. This can appear to be a humble thought and may indeed induce a rivalry in sinfulness and guilt. It is not love for God's creation and the holiness that is His gift forever. Can His Son condemn Himself and still remember Him? Here is the goal: to separate from God the Son He loves and keep Him from His source. The goal is also sought by those who seek the role of martyr at another's hand. Here must the aim be clearly seen, for this may pass as meekness and as charity instead of cruelty. Is it not kind to be accepting of another's spite, and not respond except with silence and a gentle smile? Behold, how good are you who bear with patience and with saintliness the anger and the hurt another gives, and do not show the bitter pain you feel. Forgiveness to destroy will often hide behind a cloak like this. It shows the face of suffering and pain in silent proof of guilt and of the ravages of sin. Such is the witness that it offers, one who could be Savior, not an enemy. But having been made enemy, he must accept the guilt and heavy-laid reproach that thus is put upon him. Is this love? Or is it rather treachery to one who needs salvation from the pain of guilt? What could the purpose be except to keep the witnesses of guilt away from love? Forgiveness to destroy can also take the form of bargaining and compromise. I will forgive you if you meet my needs, for in your slavery is my release. Say this to anyone and you are slave, and you will seek to rid yourself of guilt in further bargains which can give no hope, but only greater pain and misery. How fearful has forgiveness now become, and how distorted is the end it seeks. Have mercy on yourself, who bargains thus. God gives and does not ask for recompense. There is no giving but to give like Him. Sorry, my dog's pushing into me. All else is mockery. For who would try to strike a bargain with the Son of God and thank his Father for his holiness. What would you show your brother? Would you try to reinforce his guilt and thus your own? Forgiveness is the means for your escape. How pitiful it is to make of it the means for further slavery and pain. Within the world of opposites, there is a way to use forgiveness for the goal of God and find the peace He offers you. Take nothing else, or you have sought your death and prayed for separation from yourself. Christ is for all because He is in all. It is His face forgiveness lets you see. It is His face in which you see your own. All forms forgiveness takes that do not lead away from anger, condemnation, and comparisons of every kind are death, for that is what their purposes have set. Be not deceived by them, but lay them by as worthless in their tragic offerings. You do not want to stay in slavery. You do not want to be afraid of God. You want to see the sunlight and the glow of heaven shining on the face of earth, redeemed from sin and in the love of God. From here is prayer released along with you. Your wings are free, and prayer will lift you up and bring you home where God would have you be. And that is the conclusion of section 2 in part 2 of the Song of Prayer, Forgiveness to Destroy. I love you. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow for section 3 in part 2, Forgiveness.